Let me show you the only toolbox that I use to run this business. So this one right here, I have these other two and I'll show you what's in those later, but there's only one object in there and one object in there. This is the only one I use, and that's it. And I'll go through it in another video, but for now, let's go to the Mounting Man headquarters. That little DeWalt toolbox truly is almost all I use to run a $40,000 a month TV mounting business. I have no employees. I use some contractors sparingly, but mostly it's just me going out and mounting TVs for people. And if you think it's crazy that that could add up to 40 grand a month, I'm gonna open the books for you. If you're wondering why I have all this video special effects and all this, it's because I also run an advertising agency, an advertising and marketing agency where I marketed high ticket events for people like Kevin Nations. I work with Garrett J. White in his Wake Up Warrior, and Eric Shirky with The Ultimate Man. And my primary focus with them was to create, pattern interrupt. In a market filled with, people trying to get their voice out, we have to make things different. And that's what I've done with the Mounting Man. I've just taken everything that I do with the agency and put it towards a handyman business, and it just exploded. And it's just getting bigger and bigger by the month. And so I'm gonna show you the books at my home office, and I think you're gonna be shocked. All right, let's head over there now. Hello, my friends, take a look at this. So these are examples of work that I've done, TVs that I've mounted. Until holograms become a thing, TV mounting will still be a thing. And I hope you'll have me out to mount your TV. If you'd like more information, either call me at the number provided here or go to my website shown below. Thank you. And so that would be an example ad that I would do. So before we get into the books, I wanted to show you that because my goal here with this whole sales pitch is to show you examples of what you could do to stand out in your crowd. Obviously, if you have something like that, people just stop. Oh, they stop looking and they just call me immediately. A lot of times I'll get clients who they just want me over to ask how that was done, or like if I could do work for their business, because I have a lot of business clients. It seems like I have a lot of them because they want me over to ask me tons of marketing questions. And so it's a good way to get clients. If you can stand out from the crowd, it's a good way to get clients. But doing something like that is so vastly different than anything that they will see when they're looking for a person to mount their TV. Usually they'll see somebody with a half-baked website. The form says, hey, fill this out and we'll get back to you ASAP, and they never get back to the person, or the form doesn't work. And that's pretty much all you'll ever see. And then when they see something like this from an individual person, it's just fascinating to them. And so that's one thing that I'll help some of you put together if you want to end up joining the Mounting Man Academy. And we'll get to that later, but first, as I promised, I'll open up the books here. Actually, let me do this. Let me show it to you. This is literally how I started, right? Just in a calendar, and I would write down, this is the first day I started, January 2021, February, is when I actually started the Mounting Man. $228 on the Saturday, 0. Sunday, $454. Monday, $225, Tuesday, $300, $136.35, $335 on Thursday, 0 on Friday, and $285 on Saturday for $1,735 total for my first full week. $228 total just for that week because I only did one day. But $1,735 for the first full week is phenomenal. All these scribble marks are because my daughter she was 2 at the time, and she'd always just scribble on my stuff. And I thought it was hilarious. But I'm going to go through all of this for you. I'll set up a camera so it can look down on it and you can see it closer and get a better view. But I'll go through a good chunk of the year if you want. Like November here, 720 on Monday, 920 on Tuesday, 1,030 $1,237 on Wednesday, $1,460 on Thursday, $1,282.50 on Friday, $1,756.25 on Saturday for a $7,226.25 week. The next week was 6,197. The week after that was 6,983. And so, I mean, that's just phenomenal. And I still was only doing my accounting on here. And so at the end of the year, I had to add all this stuff up and, subtract my receipts and do my accounting that way. Now I have it all in QuickBooks and in my Square account and all that. But I will cut to the next video where I have everything set up to properly go through this. Now I already went through April on the other video, but let's go through. And so you'll see $538 on Saturday, May 2021. Then we got $170, $35. I don't know what I would have done there. It must have been a TaskRabbit job. $270, $295, $620, $654.03, and nothing on Saturday. So that's a $2,044 week. But you'll see how it keeps going, like $514, $270, $286, $497, $650, $776 for a $2,994 week. So that's my third basically, I didn't do anything on this week. I must have been on vacation. Yeah, I was. Okay. So nothing through that stretch. So basically, my fourth full week would have been nearly $3,000. And then we've got 120, 125, 567, 785, 723. And keep in mind, this is all profit. Like at this time, I wasn't even selling mounts. And so there wasn't even subtracted like $25 for a mount or anything like that. So that was a $3,095 week. So the whole month in total, 622, 682. Now these scribble marks are from my daughter. She was 2 at the time, and she always used to love to write on this, and I didn't care because I thought it was funny. And it still is. I mean, I can still read the numbers. $2,777 for that week. So, I mean, I had almost three $3,000 weeks for a total of $11,449.06 for May. Let's see if I can do it better like this. This week was $2,145, and you can see all the numbers, right? Basically, I was always generally around or above 500, and some would be, 800, 700. But that's a $3,200 week, $3,000 week. That week was $2,000. For a total of that was $11,000 just from that week. Totaled up to that week. And so my total was $12,956. I mean, this is good money for just starting out. Now this month, $825, $1,550. I don't know what I had scribbled out there, but $2,000 for that week. And so I used to take Sunday and Monday off sometimes because I had marketing work to do. And so this is a good week, $3,460, $2,887. And so I was getting regularly around that ballpark. This looks good. Okay, here's where I started to pick up steam. 960, 900. So this is August of 2021. This day was $806 in sales, $734 profit. And so this is where I started to sell mounts. I realized, well, I can sell mounts too. And so these totals here are what the tally is for that week, leading up to that day. I've made $3,384 so far. Then I had $1,000 day. So I had $4,000 days, because this was $650, not $1,650. And so I totaled up to $5,014 profit there. This week, $6,121 profit on $6,800 sales. Then down again, $3,000. Then I had 3,667 for a total of 18,435 for August. Now what do I have here? 3,000, 2,140, 5,000, $15,000, 370 profit off of 18,000 sales. Sorry for all the markups, but you can see what's going on. So this one, first week was 4,920, then 3,463, then 6,846. Now I'm starting to get up into the good weeks. 4,731, totaled $19,768.50 or 75 cents. Now it's getting even bigger. 564. And so I'm getting bigger weeks there. The next week was 6,197. The week after that, 6,983. And then what do we leave off with? I don't know, I didn't tally it, but 18,000 plus, so 19,000, so about 19,700 plus 13,000. So we're looking at 24,000, 25,600, somewhere in that ballpark. So we hit our first over $20,000 month. And I mean, that's pretty quick into the business. Obviously, it's expanded a lot since then. So then we had a $1,900 week, then an $800 week. So that week was slow, $1,880 week, and then a $3,065 week, and then I went on vacation again. And so at the time, if I was going on vacation, this obviously it's Christmas. These 2 days would have been huge, and these 27th on would have been huge. But I was gone, I believe, to Hawaii through that stretch. And I didn't have there was nobody. I didn't have anybody to do the jobs for me. And so I just would take an L. But that's good anyway. 5,600, 5,600, 5,700, and then 6,532. If you see this, so on the 20th of December 2021, I made $985, $930 profit, and then $2,482 day, then a $3,065 day. So I already was getting up to $3,000 days. So I did 3 days that week, and it totaled up to $6,532 for the week for 3 days. That is nuts. So this is where I stopped taking books in here. I realized this business was, I needed to make it, have it done right. And so, but I'm glad I still have this. This will be something I'll frame someday. It's a great origin story to have. And now I will skip over to the actual books in my Square account. Okay, now let's check out the actual books. So I didn't start using Square until May 1st of 2022. I was using a host of, I tried out everything. I tried out a thing called Market. I tried out about 15 different ones, from expensive to cheap, and seeing how they would work, seeing how the payment process was taken and stuff. And a client told me to use Square because he has a dog grooming business, and it was perfect. I've used it almost ever since, except each year I seem to try out another one to see if I like it. But here's May 1st to May 31st. So that totaled up to $30,613. That's probably my first $30,000 month, I would think, but my books on those are in so many different apps. I did the accounting for tax purposes that year, and then I don't even know where they are anymore. And so let's just check this out. You can go by day. 1,286, 550, 500, 400, 525, 1315, 852, 0, 285. So what day was that? Probably a Sunday, because I would take off a lot of Sundays. 285. And again, I didn't have people to help me at the time. And so 800, 1150, 675. So you can see all these. 16, let's see the big ones. 1673, 1068, 2,140. And those numbers don't account for tips either. They do in this final tally. Tips totaled $1,835 for the month. I mean, just tips was that. That's crazy. 2007-25. So that was probably a $3,000 day. Let's go to June 2022. So it totaled $33,094.18. Credit card processing fees was $771. Now I charge the credit card processing fee, and so I don't eat that cost anymore. At the time, I was just eating $700, $800, $900 a month. But you can see the breakdown. Tips was $2,545.18. Tips. I mean, that's over $30,000 a year if you times it by 12 in just tips. It depends on the month, and some of them are, a lot of them are cash too, so this doesn't even count all the tips. Let's see the big days. So that's zero, probably a Sunday. That's probably a Sunday. So you can see these payments. The total for the day anyway, 4 payments for $1,425. So that was a pretty even month. Nothing crazy, but $33,000 month. July, we had $41,215. I think I only broke 40,000 twice. I'll do that probably quite a few times this year. Slow season is January, February, March, and starts to pick up in April, and then May through the end of the year is busy. Those are 2 zeros. Again, that's probably a weekend. I had a little help at that time, but it was sparing. I would have one guy that could kind of sort of work sometimes, and he couldn't do all the jobs. So this day, that's a good day. So let's break down July 16th. Let's just go to July 16th. So the total was $4,041.34. Yes. Tips 75. There are probably cash tips in that day. But that's phenomenal. $4,041 for that day. One was $1,175. So I had 2 payments. So $531 was one payment, $200 was another, $1,175 was another, $575, $1,025, $350. And so you can see from 11 a.m. to the last payment was at 7 p.m. So I worked 8 hours that day for $4,041. Now, I didn't obviously work through that whole stretch. What happens is I'll have a break in between jobs, and then I'll go get a bite to eat or work on some marketing, that type of thing. Let's go to August 2022. So that we were $36,338. So this is when I started to get, around that 40,000 range. But I started to drop some of my other cities because they weren't working as well as I wanted. It was taking up more of my time, and now that I've had slow months, I've been able to sort of figure that out again. But you can see that. Let's see, 2000, that was a good day. Both of those were good days. Let's go to August 4th. So $2,464 total, $144.25 in tips. That's a good day. Let's go to September. So we were at $36,964. And keep in mind, so it was $2,997 in tips. That's crazy. I mean, that's just phenomenal. Let's just see Minneapolis location. Turn off the other ones. So just Minneapolis was $35,100 just by itself. And so you can see I'd kind of shut down the other locations there. Let's go to October, $38,831. So I was always hovering around that barrier. Tips were $2,864.80. Nuts. November, I remember that being slow. I had a slow November, and you know why? I had been testing out hiring another Google AdWords agency at the end of the year because I thought, let's just expand this thing through the Black Friday period. And it just bombed. I mean, they absolutely bombed. And so, I mean, I may have cost myself around $10,000-$15,000 that month, and then again the following month, because it just was. They didn't know what they're doing. They make a lot of promises, and I own an ad agency. That's why I do so well. But I always think, let me offload this portion of it. They should be able to just take what I've already done and at least match it, and then I won't have to do any of the work. And it just did not work out that way. It was a bomb. And so the next month is the same. So the next month, 30,000. That should have been a $40,000 month. Both of those months should have been over 40,000. But this is where I took back over at some point in this month. I think I let it straggle along until about here, and then I took back over. And then it was kind of a hit or miss, because what happens with Google is you can't just revert back to what you did. It has to relearn. It goes through a relearning phase, and it was just a nightmare. All I could think is, oh my God, I'm just hammered. It wasn't hemorrhaging money. I mean, this is good. 30,000 in the month is fine, especially because December obviously tapers off when it's getting closer to Christmas. And then I didn't do much through this stretch because I just took it off, and I had some people do these jobs. And so, I mean, that's my books, my friend. And so, you know, what I'm doing with this whole thing is I want to show you how to maybe some of you will be inspired. Some of you will want to work with me. Some of you will want to license out my stuff, you know, any variation. But if you'd like to join the Mounting Man Academy, I have, you know, you can message me and get more details, or I'll have more information either on the page, or you can set up a time to chat with me, direct message me, whatever. And, you know, we'll figure something out. All right, guys, thanks.